Welcome back, gang. It's Delty from DeltyIsGaming.com. In this video, I want to go over the Dragonknight, both magic and stamina, show you what's changed and kind of the outlook for Dragonknight moving forward in the Thieves Guild patch 2.3. And let me tell you, get those dumber Dragoknights ready because it's looking very bright. So overall, no matter what class you play, it really feels like the meta has shifted back to magic, specifically Magic Dragonknight. Now, Stam Dragonknight has got a little bit of a nerf. Not too bad, and that's specifically from Flames of Oblivion. So a couple things change for Stamina Dragoknights first that kind of hurt them. The other morph of Cauterize, which is now the magic healing ally morph, is activated. It's no longer toggleable, so you can't just have it on and get like a 2k dot damage over time effect. Also, what has changed is Igneous Weapons. Now this increases, get this, major sorcery, major brutality, and minor brutality for the entire party for 39 seconds. This is on the scale of the old Dragoknights. Whether you're magic or stamina, running this, especially a DK tank, is going to make builds a lot better. Why? You're not going to have to be stuck with a two-hander anymore. You're not going to have to be stuck using structured entropy every 15 seconds. If you have a good tank that keeps this up, this is an utter game changer, and I hope this sticks. I really, really like this change, if you can't tell. Love it. So Cauterize is the new morph, and it heals an ally once you activate it. Getting it slotted still gives you a spell critical, so you can use Inner Light or this. When I was testing this on my friends, it was critting for 8k. Now that's without any points in the Blessed. And essentially it makes Dragoknights good healers, possibly. So you can use this along with the Earth and Heart ability, which also heals nearby allies for 5k. You can also use Igneous Shield, increasing your healing done by 25% for 7 seconds. So I think you're going to see a lot of Dragonknight healers, especially if you're going to use the new Trinamax set. So Trinamax isn't necessarily new. It was in the last patch, and I don't know if it comes in this little box that I created here. Where did that? Of course, it's not in here when I want it. I have it on the old one. That's Orsinium, and Igneous Shields will proc the healing / ward. So Trinamax, Dragonknight healers, I think are going to be really strong in this patch. So it'll be interesting to see. My friend Volkel has a really good Dragonknight healer build, and so does Mr. T. So seeing those guys create something will be really interesting. Okay, so Igneous Shields, monster change, Ardent Flame, monster change, Burning Ember, and the chains. These have changed huge. Empowering change. So you're going to do fire damage, and the next attack increases your deck damage by 20%. That's not new. Also grants you Major Expedition, 30% for 2 seconds. So the nice thing about this is it always pulls you now. So if you're running a Magic Dragonknight PvP build, the old meta used to be sword and board and using chains, using invasion. So the one-handed sword and shield to kind of charge in. Well, now I can see it using powering. And you're going to do some cool things with empowering chains into maybe a flawless Dawnbreaker or a Dawnbreaker of smiting. So let's just show you what this looks like here. Come on, where you at? So empowering change always pulls you. 20% more damage, bang! It's going to be awesome. I'm telling you right now, it will be fantastic, and I can't wait to see it. The other morph is pretty good as well. Basically, the other morph is when you change something, you don't get pulled to it any longer. It will refund you the magic cost, so it's essentially a free pull, making chains back to its original awesome form. It's kind of like they're undoing all the crap that happened to the Dragonknight that made it less powerful, specifically magic. Okay, Burning Ember is another absolutely incredibly strong heal now. It used to be strong, because you could recast it, and at the point of which you recasted it, it would give you the health. It does it now as well, so you don't have to wait the full duration if you're struggling with a heal. This is what Dragoknights needed after the Green Dragon's Blood nerf. So let me show you like this. It used to be when you used Burning Embers, the mob would either have to die. Oh, Falcon Scoria, we'll get to that. The mob would have to either die or the 10-second duration would have to come up. So let me show you. 10-second duration, 17.6k heal. Did you guys see that? 17.6k. They doubled the heal on this. That was a non-crit. A basic heal to full. That is incredibly powerful. So the thing about it is now, If you don't want to wait for the whole duration, like say I need health right now, double cast it. 18.4k self-heal. So the self-healing Dragonknight of old is back with a vengeance. Burning Ember's self-heal might be a little bit too strong. So that's just my feedback. Anyways, it is incredibly powerful. So Chains got buffed, Embers got buffed, Engulfing Flame is still fantastic. I took the PvP morph here, but Molten Whip is what you want for PvE if you're going to use it as a standard DPS tool. A couple other things people are going to overlook. Burning Embers now, damage up front is flame damage. It used to be physical. Why does that matter? Because I'm getting 10,000 damage crits casting this on NPCs. 10,000 damage casting Burning Embers, not to mention about a 3k damage over time ability. Wow. Incredible. But let's not stop there. The best change is Draw Essence. This thing was already enormously powerful, but now guess what? It hits 6 targets and it refunds 10% of the magic it cost for each enemy hit. It's kind of like almost a free AoE monster self-heal. It is incredible. So let me show you this. Now, obviously, the more enemies around, the better this is going to be. But the heal is still pretty good on this. So 2.5k non-crit, and that's one enemy. And a 10k crit for damage. Now imagine when 6 people are around, that's a 10k self-heal and possibly 60k DPS. Draw Essence is absolutely a game changer and utterly so much more fun to use. I can't wait. I am so excited about the Magic Dragonknight. I'm just 100% honest with you here. Another change, yep, they got buffed again, Eruption. So the first hit on this is now flame damage, not physical, and it's buffed. 3,400 flame damage. This also can crit for almost 10k on the first initial hit. The problem with Magic Dragonknight is not that you don't have a whole lot of good skills. The problem is you have so many good skills, it's hard to pick. Because there's, I mean, almost everything on your kit now is worth using. It's awesome. Dragonknight Standard is still the same. Shifting Standard got the ultimate cost reduction to 200, which actually might be good for PvPers that want a heal debuff that is mobile. I like it, but it's not worth taking over Standard Might for PvE. Take Flight is still big, still nasty, physical damage ultimate. So Stam Dragonites, you're good with that. Earth and Heart, major the same. Okay, so Igneous Weapons, we talked about that is the new meta for DPS. Now, another thing that surprisingly is going to be a big change, I don't think a lot of people are factoring in, is Elemental Expert. And here's why. Remember that fusion build I had with my Sorc that didn't work out? It's going to work with my Dragonknight now because Thaumaturge was changed. Instead, they changed Thaumaturge to damage over time effects, which is going to be necessary for almost all your magic builds. Which you're probably going to do a split in Thaumaturge here. An Elemental Expert, I don't know what the math geeks are figuring out yet, but I'll have to ask Gil and Nifty and some of those guys. But you're going to have a split in here. But the nice thing is, Elemental plus Magic. That is huge, especially for PvP. Why? Proxy Debt is magic. That got a buff. Dawnbreaker of Smiting. That's magic. All of you Sorcs out there that love Crystal Frags, that's magic. This is a big change. So don't underwhelm that. That's a monster change. And having empowering sweeps, another thing that's cool is there's not a whole lot of toggleable abilities anymore, specifically Inner Light. A cool thing you can do if you don't like the empowering chains to get your 20% more damage, well, guess what? Inner Light's not toggleable anymore. So you hit it, it gives you Might of the Guild. Yes. And it got changed the ability. So if you look at it, it exposes nearby enemies. So all those pesky Night Blades, you can toggle this on for a decent low magic cost and not get ganked, nuked every 3 seconds. And it still gives you Major Prophecy. But the reason I like it is for burst PvPers, now you activate Inner Light, still have a use for it on your bar, exposes the Night Blades, and gives you 20% damage on your next attack. So let me show you what this looks like in comparison so you get an idea. Okay, we got 100k Mammoth here. 100k, we're going to buff up. And so just a normal Flame Lash crit, 8k non-crit, 13.8k. So if we do our Empower, then get a crit, 16.2k. Now factor that in with Proxy Debt, Smiting Dawnbreaker. So you're going to hit it, Dawnbreaker of Smiting. That's 14.3k non-crit on a single target, and it's AoE. So you have some more flexibility with builds now, not having to double bar Inner Light. You have some really cool and unique bursting that you can do in PvP, pressing Inner Light, or using the Cauterize as a heal. Dragonknight, this is a time to fire up them dumbers. I'm telling you, if you're not excited about your Dragonknight now, you never will be. You have a good possibility of being an elite healer. A monster DPS, both stamina and magic, because stamina didn't take a nerf really, especially with PvP. If you still like doing the Wrecking Blow, well, you actually did get a buff to your build. Why? Because Spawn of Maphalias, right here, now has a 100% chance of dealing magic damage off of a fully charged heavy attack. So I can see Stam Dragoknights using this and keeping it up 100% of the time to basically have 1,000 damage over time effect at all times. It's just incredible. Whether you're stamina, whether you're magic, whew, Dragoknights are looking good.